Applied Research Methods in Sports and Kinesiology, KINE 5301. Module 4. Research Design in Sports Management. Observation Research and Case Study Research. The topics that we will cover include Chapter 9, Observation Research, Chapter 10, Case Study Research. In Chapter 9, Observation Research, we look at the following objectives: understanding what ethnography is, understanding the various types of observation research, understanding how observation research can be applied to the practice of sport administration, understanding observer roles involved in observation research, and understanding the processes, procedures, and types of data collection used in observation research. Our biblical foundation for this module, for Chapter 9, Observation Research, can be found in Matthew, the 28th chapter, verses 18 through 20. And Jesus came and said to them, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. And behold, I am with you always to the end of the age." Ethnography, when we look at this topic, it is defined as a naturalistic methodological process through which social scientists use field research to investigate social phenomena in order to understand human culture, communities, and institutions, as well as people's lives, interactions, and experiences. It is also an immersion into one's culture. There are various types of observation research that we want to look at. First, participant observation. It's similar to ethnography, but it involves various methodologies and is aimed at understanding human social phenomena and answering research questions in a field setting, interviews, focus groups, as well as observation. Observation research in sports administration and management and kinesiology involves different aspects. Observation research can be used in sports administration to solve a problem through applied research, or to improve understanding and contribute to the body of knowledge in sports administration through basic research. Observation research in sports administration looks at the fact that other scholars also argue that ethnographic research can be used in sports administration to advance our understanding of sport administrative practice in other sport organizations. Researchers over the years have found that it can also be used in observation research to understand better the social interactions, the political processes, the power structures, and the historical forces, with all of these different components having shaped the social reality in sport and sport organizations. Sports administration research generally has an exploratory, descriptive, and analytical or predictive purpose. Exploratory research is used to gain greater insight, familiarity, or clarification regarding a particular issue. A deeper understanding of an issue usually rests on exploratory inquiries and can be situated in research that is A, descriptive, which provides answers to the who, what, when, and where questions, and B, analytical, which provides explanatory answers to the why and how questions. So, with that being said, exploratory research is used in the sports industry to understand how people believe, interrelate, are influenced, communicate, and make purchasing decisions, as well as interact and engage in other related activities. From an observer role, we look at complete observation, where the researcher simply watches, listens, and records the findings. It is a combination of observer and participant, where the researcher can participate in some things and then observe reactions from others. Complete participation means one is fully involved in the organization or fully engaged with the participants of the study. Next, we look at data collection. From the observation process, it is direct observation as the primary method of collecting data in observation research. The mixed method design is a combination of observation research and quantitative research. Content analysis looks at observing and examining forms of communication in a particular field. And fourthly, field notes. It is the taking of notes and recording observations as the primary source of data in observation research. Now shifting to Chapter 10, the second component of this module. We look at case study research. The objectives are to first define case study methodology, to understand how case study research is used by sports administration practitioners and researchers, understand the three types of case study research in sports administration, understand the difference between research and teaching case studies, understand the 4 key tasks in developing a case study research design in sports administration. Very important objectives as we branch into this chapter. From a biblical foundation standpoint, for Chapter 10, we look at Hebrews, the 6th chapter, verses 9 through 10, which read as follows. Though we speak in this way, yet in your case, beloved, and we feel sure of better things, things that belong to salvation. For God is not unjust so as to overlook your work and the love that you have shown for his name in serving the saints as you still do. And it's from this biblical foundation that we look at various aspects of the case study methodology. Within this chapter, approaches case study methodology primarily from a qualitative perspective. Case study research is used in real life settings, and it generally draws information from other methodologies such as interviews, observations, etc. Case studies in sports administration research. Sports administration research often focuses on applied research, which makes case study research particularly useful because of the following. The end result of most case study inquiries is to help sports administrative practitioners in their quest to operate more effectively and efficiently. Case studies in sports administration research is an important tool in sports administration research since it allows researchers to study specific events, activities, settings, and phenomena. Sports administration scholars can turn to the case study as a research tool when they want to gain a deeper understanding of an actual real-life sports industry phenomenon or issue. And that's why it's important to keep up with current issues as you embark upon this career, as well as looking at team or organization decisions, rules and policies, and personnel issues, etc. Case studies typically explore, describe, illuminate, or explain a selected phenomenon in sports administration. Case study research comes in 3 types that overlap sports administration. 1, the explanatory. 2, the exploratory. And 3, the descriptive. So these 3 prove to be very important. Looking further, the explanatory case study research, the investigator seeks to answer questions about the how and the why. Most of these studies are focused answering the following: how and why research questions. It's simply that, the how and the why. Next, we look at exploratory and descriptive case study research. These types of case studies typically answer the following: the who, the what, the when, and the where. Now, when we compare research versus teaching case studies, A research case study contains many specific features such as primary source materials, evidence, data analysis, as well as conclusions. Whereas a teaching case study's purpose is to simply establish a framework for discussion and debate. Now, we look at 4 key tasks in developing case study research, and these are equally important. First, you have the design and implementation task. This is where the researcher needs to first develop a research strategy, formulate a research design, and implement specific research questions. Next, we look at research preparation. One should create the case study protocol, screen the potential cases and participants, and conduct a pilot study. That's a study before the actual study. After having done this, we move to the third phase of data collection, which is the carrying out of the case study research design and collecting the needed data to secure specific answers. And fourthly, doing a data analysis, which analyzes the findings, examines the data, and assesses how the findings will help forward the study's research aims and objectives. So the question now becomes, what's next? Simply complete your detailed reading, answer the discussion questions, complete the writing assignments, and participate in the course as you continue building toward the next phase of your class. This concludes module number 4.